Okay, this Know Your Exporter session, why do we exist? Very quickly, I think those of you who might be here for the first time, PACEID, those words, that word transform is heavily used, but for me I'm looking for if I can rapidly develop. You know, when you develop something, it loses the former form of itself. It's a new thing. And things don't start to change shape and manner unless, so think of those of you who are farmers and have boulders and rocks on your farms. You just see the top of the stone, but down, the stone goes some 10,000 meters. On top, animals can graze, you can even plant crops. Or maybe I'm speaking to people who are not farmers. So let's think of iceberg, because some people are more muzungus than me. An iceberg has 3 elements. There is what you see. So what you see in business is what you call stated intention. All of you are business people. Those big statements we put up on our walls, those aspirations, that's what you really see, mission statements. But below, what's not seen are behaviors and attitudes that really should keep those statements live or dead on the walls. Am I speaking to someone here? It's not enough to have a statement, we want to be middle-income country by 2030. Well, it has to be backed by something. And that thing is called attitude and behavior, which stands in the way. Now, below, down, at the tip, at the lower bottom of the iceberg, where the Titanic sank. Remember the Titanic? A movie I watched in the 90s. I still remember when I was at university. So what the Titanic hit is called beliefs and thought systems. So what you actually believe shapes how you behave, affects your statements. So sometimes we're shooting to the skies, but we believe that unless ngende chile mukono nenda bajaja wabana and I do my traditional things, you're trying to sell to the UK, but you're thinking really in a very negative way. So what you see here are really stated intentions, but we're working very hard to leave those stated intentions. Yeah? Okay? So I hope I won't offend anyone because I speak openly. I don't have time to waste, because if God gives me 100 years on earth, I am halfway now, and therefore every word, every action should be intended to achieve results, not to please. Okay? So we want to attain by 2062. Why do we say 2062? It's just 38 years from now. We will make 100 years as a country. A country that is 100 years should be completely different from the country of 1962. Some people say that's really, who wants to live to 2062? Okay, you die, it's all right. But those who are there, they should be able to sell, to have this kind of capacity, because their children's children want to live in a better country. And 38 years is very short time. Who knows how many years the NRM has been here? Because I was here. I was a senior of 3 student. I am here. So 38 years may sound far, but you stretch your business to think that way. So it will make you humble. You'll begin to live in the now with a bit of more intention. You'll stop the useless fights. You'll build a sector, not your company. You will be very, very, very forgiving of some of the things that happen, because it's a long-term trajectory. 2062, you only get there if you can achieve this. So also don't dream, walk, practical walks. So 2062 is good, but 2028 is what we think we can achieve, and we want to work through it. It won't take a lot of time. Those 13 products I'm sure Brenda must have shown you. These categories of products will change as our knowledge changes. Okay? So you know someone invented a light bulb. We know who that person was. Very famous story. There were many, but there's one known. Thomas Edison, who they say invented it. He wasn't the only one. It was an ecosystem. But the light bulb was zero use until there was an electric grid. Because what does it mean to have a light bulb when you cannot connect wires to homes and streets? In other words, knowledge improving and our processing capacity as farms in the country, we will continue to improve those sectors to change them. Okay? And these are these. You can see beef, you can see dairy products, you can see fish, fruits and veg. I think this must be what? Coffee? This is a tugume. This is a tea. I think someone added in tea. One of our committee members is a tea grower and quickly brought in tea. We didn't have it initially. But does anyone doubt that it's good to have tea on this? Is it a good idea? Because at the tea exchange in Mombasa, we don't talk Uganda tea. We call it Kenya tea, Ketepa, but it's actually from Igara. So someone added tea, and I'm fine with it. But you see why we don't add products? Every product is an industry of its own. It has problems. It has challenges. It has issues. Every time you add a sector, not sorted out the full understanding of the ones you have, you kind of punch in the air. But, you know, people want us to do everything. We can't be everything to everyone. We will fail. We just want to focus on a few things, as I will show you. Okay. Toke is there. I saw Andrew here. Maize or grains, flowers, sugar. I think this meaning, so take your cement, your ores, your copper, and then steel. So those are the 13 products. And we have tourism and leisure and entertainment. Tourism in particular. I think entertainment will have a bit more of it on the domestic market. Although recently I heard that if we did Indian weddings in Kalangara, if Uganda Airlines lands from Mumbai, and because Indian weddings are very expensive. They're all golden, and they spend weeks, and they are extended families, and they eat and drink. So it's something to think about for you who are in tourism. Okay? So these are the markets. We've been criticized for people who really don't understand us very well. Oh, you know, why are you in Europe? Why are you? Yes, it's good to be in Europe, in Asia, in America. It's very important because those markets, they are a good training ground. If you can sell a product in New York, it will not be hard for you to sell in Congo or Algeria. But we focus on ESC, FCTA, and look, we carefully choose. And this choice comes from you, what do you give us? I know countries that just send everything here, plastics, everything. Recently I saw a contract. Government is trying to purchase something worth like $150 million. But we buy nothing from that country. Even when you are negotiating that, why didn't you tell me? Because I can go with coffee people and say, all right, when we pay you 30% of this, you also give us 10% of tea or this. We've got to develop that capacity because without it, we are really not doing much. We are losing a lot of hard-earned money by people buying whatever they buy without having a genuine conversation on how can I use that purchase to push my own products. It's something we want to take up with the president, but again, too many things to do. That's why I thank the PACEID team for bringing you here as private sector to support us, not also to just add pressure on us. Because we're on a journey, which is a marathon. You run a marathon in 400 meters, and you really need people dropping water for you. You need people cheering you on, not give me a pechange. As soon as I get mine, I'm gone. Well, just take me to the president, all will be solved. No, we don't want to do that. We are not an addition on the market. We want to make structure change. There are too many additions in our country. If this is not working, add. No. We are here, we have a timeline, we have a short period, we have a target, and we are resisted by the structures that have coalesced over a long time to not help the private sector to sell. And therefore, we don't want additional burdens. We need so that when we have a trade rep who the country doesn't pay anyway, who has been convinced by PACEID and Rwabwogo to help, don't bother him. Work with him or her, because he is in a market where you are not. So that's the area we operate in, and we have what you call value. I'm glad I'm speaking to business people, and there are few government people here. So many of you know what we call value creation, don't we? So if I ask your business, at what point in your industry do you create value? Because in coffee, I can create value at any level, right? I don't need to plant more coffee trees if I augmented coffees to give me. That's value addition. I can also add value at drying or hulling. I can also add value at transportation in a unique way. I can also add value when I put a couple of products, because we think coffee is coffee to drink. Now the Tugumes and others have shown us coffee for olususu, coffee for medication. There are many products, byproducts that come out of a value chain. So what is the value add that PACEID makes? You can sell without them. You can go to Ministry of Agriculture and get a phytosanitary certificate and go and sell. You can go to Ministry of Trade and go and ask what the negotiation for Algeria for dairy product is. Go and sell. You don't need us. But let me tell you why you need us. Because if there is no value add, we shouldn't be here today. We shouldn't be speaking the things we're talking about. And that's what I want you to ask of government institutions. What is the value you create, and what's the architecture of that transaction because I pay taxes? Because when I bring in foreign exchange, I have brought something in the country, and therefore it's extremely important that that value is protected. So these are the value. This is what I create. A friend of mine took this picture, and I thought I should share it with you. So I went away for a couple of days, and I wanted to see how do they make pizza, because one of my children likes pizza. So how do you make a pizza crust and put ingredients and mix with oil and get these things done? Oh my, it's not a very easy thing. The hands that mix the dough, it's called the dough, I think. The amount of oil you put in, how you roll the hand is pretty tough. But when you are eating that pizza, you don't know. When you see like toke flour on the street or in a market, you say, you don't know. You don't know what the process is. And that for me was humbling. First of all, the whole idea of how you put in an apron, because you have to prepare for the activities you're going to do. So if you're going into exports or to help others, preparation precedes promotion. None of us don't want to prepare. I am part of that too. We just want to wing it. Because there's a summit happening in New York. Let's wing it. Let's get in. No. Your competition has prepared and re-prepared and prepared to have you for lunch. So you got to be intentional how you do this. So I wanted just to draw something for you. Those of you who are not with us in Serbia, when we landed, people were just going in their hotels to do their normal things. I said, let me buy you lunch. And I asked Matthew, and Matthew said, but we have had a meeting. We finished. Where do you want to see people? I said, okay. It's very important that the people who are here know why they are on this market. Because we are here with different intentions. Some of us were there to do shopping. Some of us were there to look for markets. Some of us were looking for boyfriends. People go in one room, we are here, but we have multiple intentions. And unless people are aligned, trouble. So I said, if you have a company, in the old economics, we would call this performance, this, and here we would call it time. And I said, in terms of what we've been doing as a country, I plotted something. I said, this is our growth curve for exports. And you could even use this for business. So who knows the Y and X axis? This is not a classroom, okay? But just take this is performance, this is time period. So I said, PACEID wants this. The point of intersection here is where we are having issues. Because things have been done in a traditional way, and suddenly we are in 7 markets, we have trade representatives, we are applying pressure, and we're trying to create new value here. Thank you very much. Bless you.
I'd like to hear from you. Please email us at info@tapmedia.com and visit our website at www.tapmedia.com. You can also visit our offices located at Tomosi Business Park, Luzira, Port Bell Road, or call 0414 220 702. Thank you.